Don't waste your time trying to figure everything out. There are some things you're not supposed to understand right now. We can't see the plan of God. We can't fathom how He does things. We think natural. He's supernatural. And if you're always trying to figure it out, it's going to frustrate you. Instead of using that energy trying to understand what's happening, use it to thank God that He's working. Thank Him that He's fighting your battles. Thank Him that He's making your crooked places straight. Thank Him that you're surrounded with His favor.
What are you going to do with the time you have left? What are you going to do with the time you have left? I say that if you don't reposition yourself, you could miss the best time in your life. If you don't know what time it is, time will get away from you and you won't know where it went. The worst thing in life is not money getting away from you. It's not people getting away from you. It's time. Where did it go? I am my parents' age. My mother was sitting up talking with her sisters several years ago, and they were sitting up and they were drinking some coffee. And they said, "Girl, where are all the old people?" Said, "Where's Miss Susie and Miss Helen and Miss Reggie Mae and all the old people?" And I was sitting over there thinking, y'all are the old people now. And before I could get through thinking it, they were gone.
You gotta go, man. Never wait on the right time, because the right time ain't ever coming. You have to go. See, when you have these ideas of greatness, you gotta go forward, because it's not gonna be a right time. Just go, jump, take a chance. If you ever planning on soaring, you're gonna have to jump. But if you don't do it now, when you gonna do it?
Do you know how much time you have left? Do it now. Take action now.
Because you only got 8 years of life, by the way, just so you know. Average person lives 78. You spend 28 of those years sleeping. You spend another 3 or 4 shopping, traffic, add it up, you get 8 years. And you're not a newborn, so you got less than that. You don't need to know a little more. You need to execute a little more. You need to make some mistakes. Quit trying to be perfect. The best people I know in business, they take action when they don't know everything. You need to embrace the mess. Embrace the chaos. You're never going to know everything you think you need to know. You take action. The Lord has a way when you step into a new space of revealing to you the people, places, resources, things you need in that space, and you go from there and you go to the next one.
Listen, it's your time. Seize the moment. If you put everything off until you're sure of it, you'll never get anything done. What you have and who you are is enough. Live like a warrior. And warriors are always in fight mode. You've got to fight to put all your efforts and energy into things that's productive and purposeful. See, it doesn't take any motivation to put things off. If you put everything off till everything get right, oh, when I get all my ducks lined up, is that right? What if it's not duck season? Do what you're going to do and do it now. Defer no time. Delays have dangerous ends. You think about that. If you focus on living where you can do more, that you can achieve more, the possibilities are unlimited. When you don't have enough courage to do what it is that you've been sent here to do, life moves on you. You were chosen to do the greater work. That's why you're still breathing. People that are hungry, they're persistent. As long as they got a pulse, they keep coming back. They might bend, but they won't break. I asked myself, if I died now, what would I be upset about? Some dream that I had that I put off that I didn't get done. You're still here. You're still breathing. You still got a pulse. You're not a loser. You're a winner. You were born to win. You came here winning. Well, I'm depressed right now. No, you don't have the luxury of being depressed. Keep it moving.
You got 8 years left. Here's how you manipulate that time. Who says a day is 24 hours? A day can be 8 hours, by the way. I started it 10 years ago. I run 8-hour days. People that are successful in a bigger hurry. You don't need to be loud and intense like me, but you got to move, think, and walk and talk faster. Speed matters. You can do it however the heck you want. But my first day, I run 3 mini days. They're actually each 6 hours. My first day is from 6 a.m. to noon. That's a day. So many years ago I went, my day is 6 a.m. to noon. I'm trying to run a whole day schedule of calls, appointments, contacts, meetings, emails, whatever it is, from 6 a.m. to noon. Day 2 starts from noon to 6. My third day is from 6 p.m. until midnight. I get 3 days a day. I calibrate time that way. I look at time that way. I execute that way. I crush you. In today's world, the speed of internet, contacts, and you're going to compete against someone like me, you better start running mini days. You need to really start to calibrate time the way I just told you. So if some of you are going to be at your job for the first 2 days, you've got a brand new day when you leave there and you're 6 p.m. to noon. If you're going to be a real entrepreneur, you bend time. A little psycho, but it's what I have. If you really want to win, you really want to be very wealthy, here's what I get. By the time you've run 2 days, I've had 6. Now stack up a month. Stack up 10 years. That's the difference. Knowledge equals execution and speed.
We are living in a generation of the dumbing down of ideas. We have traded effectiveness for busyness. We are busier than any other generation we have seen in the last 300 to 400 years. And we think because we're busy, we're effective. Ask yourself, are you really being effective? Or is your life cluttered with all kinds of stuff that demands you and drains you and stops you from being your highest and best self? And are you substituting busyness from being effective? Let me tell you, a bunch of scientists got together. They began to do some research that the average person only spends 20% of their time doing the thing that they are really passionate about, excited to do. And the rest of it is all the dismal, dumb stuff that we all have to do in order to survive. Wonder what would happen if we would switch those numbers around and only give 20% of our time to the things that we have to do and 80% of our time to the thing that we were created to do. Think about it a minute. There's a lot of things you could take from me and I could make it. You could take my suit. I got another one. You could take my house. I could get another house. But when you take my time, you have taken something from me that is totally irreplaceable.
Time is more valuable than money. You can get more money, but unfortunately you can't get more time. I wouldn't waste one of my days, not for anybody, not for anything. Once I understood how valuable they were, I don't waste any.
We know how to manage our money. We know how to repair our houses. We do everything except the most important thing is to value our time. It takes time to be creative. If you had time, you would be creative. But in the absence of time and with busyness and clutter, it's taking you away from what you are gifted and creative to do. We have an opportunity to learn how to maximize our lives. And think of yourself as a precious commodity that you are going to reserve your energy for your highest and best use. If you are doing anything that somebody else in your life could do, you are not reserving yourself for your highest and best use. You're missing your life, your purpose, your excitement, your enthusiasm. Understand that every moment is a gift. Every second is a gift. Every opportunity is a gift. Everybody you meet is a gift. Begin to maximize what you've got.
You gotta rise up. You gotta make your dreams a reality and live a damn masterpiece. You gotta make a decision. What's the decision? What's the thing you came here for? The clock is ticking.
When I die, let everybody know life don't owe me any change. Most of us take our talents, our abilities, our skills to the graveyard. Rob the cemetery of your ideas.
How to go from where you are to where you want to go. How to go from pennies to treasure. Be like a sponge. Don't miss anything. Most people are just trying to get through the day. Here's what I want you to be committed to do. Learn to get from the day. What a difference that'll make in your future. Commit yourself to learning. Commit yourself to absorbing. Don't be casual in getting it. Casualness leads to casualness.
Think about most of your fears, most of your anxieties. Very few of them are in the right here, right now. They're usually horrible things that happened in the past that we'd like to avoid happening again in the present, or they're scary things that maybe could happen in the future, right? And we'd like to steer around it. When we end up in the deep now, when time gets shut down in the flow state, anxiety disappears. Your stress hormones flood out of your system.
You know you want to make changes, you got a lot you want to do in your life, but then you start thinking about those changes and you immediately start catastrophizing. You start worrying. You start thinking about all the reasons why it's not going to happen. This is so common, and the reason why it's common is because somebody in your past either trained you to think this way, or you've had so many bad things happen that you've trained yourself to assume and predict that bad things are always going to happen to you. There will be bad things that happen. There will. It's a fact of life. But if you are constantly allowing your mind to default to thinking that bad things will happen, or thinking that you're out of shape, or thinking that you're a loser, or thinking that you're not worthy, or thinking that things aren't going to turn out, it becomes your default mode of thinking.
Is this thought going to enhance my life, or is this thought going to take away from my life? And then when you start to realize that, you start to direct your actions where you put your energy into things that enhance your life and give you an opportunity to survive and to go beyond survival and really into thriving. So the point is this, we are facing some rough times. The more thoughts you put into the negative aspect, the more thoughts you put into the fear, not only are you just wasting your energy, but as in the biology belief, these negative thoughts, these negative stresses actually impair your immune system and bring on disease itself. All day long you were shooting yourself in the foot with your own behavior, and you didn't even know where the gun was coming from. It was in your own hand. And I say, so why is it relevant? We have been programmed to believe that when it doesn't work, we are victims of the outside. When the truth is, no, 95% of the day we were playing programs that did not support us. And as a result, at the end of the day, we didn't get that support, but we didn't see it. Why? Subconscious was below conscious was controlling your life.
If you want to change your personal reality, if you want to change something about your life, you got to change. And so the process of change then becomes the fundamental process of going from some person that's familiar and known to you and stepping out and beginning to make different choices and to begin thinking differently and begin to behave differently and speak differently and feel differently. And if you start thinking, acting, and feeling differently, our research shows without a doubt you're going to have dramatic changes in your biology. And if you do it enough times, you're going to become someone else.
So there's this governor on our lives. And it is a governor, and it's your identity. It's this internal, it's what you think you're worth. It's what you think you deserve. And the problem for good people, see, we all know someone right now in our life, or we have, who's not ethical, who's not a good person, who's winning. And you're like, I can't believe they're getting it, right? Why can't I? I'm a good person. I treat people well. I'm honest. Here's the reason why. By the way, the unethical person, eventually, karma, you reap what you sow, comes home to roost. A good person in any endeavor will only take from it what they think they deserve, what they think they're worth. In other words, if there was a pizza here, you're a good person. You don't take all 12 pieces. Right. A good person thinks there should be an equitable distribution.
Yeah, I'm a little bigger, so I might take 7 or 8. You know,
and I would arm wrestle you for it.
You would beat me.
I don't know about that. You're a moose. But long story short, what is that a good person will not take more from the table of life than they think they're worth or they think they deserve. And so you have this governor on your identity. So what happens is it's like a thermostat. Our lives get going. We start doing really well. If we're a 75 degreer, and our life gets to 85 and 90 degrees, unconsciously we don't know we're doing it. The reverse is also true. When things start to go really bad and you're broke and you're struggling, you find a way to heat your life back up to what you think you're worth and you deserve. So the way we alter our life is, sure, we got to alter our behavior and our relationships and our circumstances.
How do we alter it?
A couple different ways. One is what you just said, is that you put yourself in circumstances that are demanding of you past what you think your capacity is, and when you succeed at them, you build a new water line. You do. You throw yourself out there past where you're comfortable, and you do an 85 degrees behavior, and you knock it out of the park, and you go, your brain starts to believe it. Repetitiously, when you start doing that, you build a new line. Now you're 85 degree. If you're around people, and whatever that endeavor is, if it's a sport you're in, or if it's a business, or your faith, or your peace, if you begin to associate with people who live in that space at a higher temperature than you, through association, you get heated up.
Yeah.
And so if you're an athlete, for example, you're a 70-degree athlete, and you start training all the time with 85 and 90 degrees, your identity through osmosis goes up. If you're a person who's trying to improve their faith in their life or their personal peace about them, you all know this. You've seen it. When you start to hang around people that are a little bit more peaceful than you or meditate a little bit more, through that association, over time, thermostat changes in that area. And so it's both behaving in a certain way, and then your associations usually change.
I believe that.
One of the most valuable exercises you can engage in to accomplish any goal you can set for yourself is to ask yourself, what is my limiting step? What is the one factor that determines the speed at which I achieve my goal, or whether I achieve it at all? Your ability to identify your limiting step is one of the best demonstrations of your intelligence. Your capacity to eliminate this limiting step is one of the best demonstrations of your overall competence in achieving anything you want. When you have enough self-confidence, you will try almost anything. Because success is largely a matter of averages or probabilities, the more things you try, the more likely it is that you will achieve greatly. When you set more goals, try more things, engage in more activities, and explore more opportunities, your probabilities of success increase dramatically. The only real limiting step that you might have is your level of self-confidence. When you reach the point at which you believe in yourself absolutely, the barriers that exist in your external world will not stop you. The major obstacles to success always lie within the mind of the individual. They are not contained in external circumstances, situations, or people. As soon as you win the inner battle, the outer battle seems to take care of itself. The development of self-confidence has been the turning point in my own life. Once you have started to make significant changes in the way you act, your internal gyroscope will try to take over and bring you back into your comfort zone, into your old ways of acting. Sometimes progress will be slow, and often you will see no progress at all. Nonetheless, you must persist in the positive and constructive behaviors that you know will lead to making you into the kind of person you wish to become. Your determination must be as unshakable as the self-confidence you desire. Every practice of self-discipline strengthens your discipline in every other area of your life. As Napoleon Hill said, after more than 20 years of research into the lives of successful men and women, self-discipline is the master key to riches. It is self-discipline that makes everything else possible. If you have the desire to change, the decisiveness to take action, the determination to persist on your forward track, and the discipline to make yourself do whatever you need to do, your self-confidence and your success are inevitable.
In your tongue you and until you learn, for you going to lose what God sent you because you got to develop a method that fixed where you are not where you are drop fate to drop you swap drop your hand and fail good when David comes to fight this Goliath it is this that is the paradigm shift for his life. It was anointed and went back to the same things was doing before. Golit, what fascinates me it's that David Golinat in the fence, but he doesn't know that he is going to fight Golinat. He comes down to serve. Nobody preaches about this. They don't talk about this. Glorious is not don't for use fanfare to it. There no drama. They talk about his bag to rock, but I am going to tell you that they are looking at the wrong bag. His job was to bring his brothers lost everything every day. Everybody is talking about the bag bushel because it was the bushel that brought him to the blazing. See the problem today. Everybody wants to lead. Nobody wants to serve. Everybody wants to be the boss. Nobody wants to. Generations of people who find new place of service for if you find your bus, you will find you blazing. And until David was faithful with the bushel, until he was faithful with what he had been charged to do, he would never find the power of the bag until he understood the power of someone else. Is discovered who is his destiny. His miracle couple could never be revealed until he served someone that he says has greater our problem. Today we got enough people. Don't have enough people who had got down into the east.